Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be reacting to Joe Roberts' video where he escaped the t-shirt trap and switched to high profit print-on-demand products on Shopify. I haven't watched the video yet, so I'm excited to watch it with you, whether or not you've seen it, and I'll provide commentary along the way. So let's get to it. As a seven-figure t-shirt seller, I can't wait to see what Joe has to say about selling print-on-demand t-shirts and what products he recommends instead. I'm going to drop a link to his video if you want to follow along. It'll be the first one in the description. Let's get to it. Also, I sped it up by 25%. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Hey Joe, it's Folks here. I'm sure at some point you've heard someone recommend for you to choose a low competition niche. This is a common strategy because print on demand is becoming so competitive. I mean, look at the Google trend. This is the search term print on demand over the last 8 years when I started print on demand, and you can see that we are basically at all-time highs. And for many
I feel like everybody that searches print on demand also thinks that the only place you can sell it is on Etsy. I think that's one thing me and Joe can agree upon for sure, is that there's more to print on demand than just Etsy POD. But if you look at YouTube and go by video views, it seems like that's just about all that anybody cares about. But hopefully you guys are on other platforms.
sellers, the best way to stand out is to choose a low competition niche. That is completely wrong though. Personally, I am selling in a high competition niche. I started this store back in April, so just about 3 months ago. You can see that we are now over $28,000 in sales. This is with about a 35% profit margin, and I am selling a low competition product in a highly competitive niche. Choosing a low competition product and avoiding the t-shirt trap helps me to do
35% profit, but then is that before or after ad spend? Just curious.
things. The first is obviously to be able to stand out in a competitive niche. The second is I can actually make more sales because of the way that I am choosing the products, which I'll cover in a moment. And thirdly, I can make more profits because let's face it, t-shirts and mugs are relatively low in profit. And if you're
So he said relatively low. We need to know what products we're comparing them to. Because like t-shirt profit margins aren't bad. Same with mugs. It all depends on who's fulfilling them. But I know he is a big fan of Printify, and Printify's got good competitive base costs. Obviously shipping factors in and whatnot. So a lot of variables, a lot of nuance, but let's continue.
If you're watching this and you don't really know what a niche is, or if you don't really know what's out there for print-on-demand products, this video is definitely for you. I also have a free course called POD for Dummies. It is linked down in the description. It is completely free, like I said. Inside, you will see videos that will help you to actually build out your store. Let me show you an example of what I mean. This here is a t-shirt inside of the fitness niche, which I'm sure a lot of you would say is a highly competitive niche that is borderline saturated and potentially should be avoided. Before I show you a low competition product for that niche, I want to show you this. This is a beach lovers t-shirt, which is also a very competitive niche that many people would say is too saturated. Thirdly, we have a sports mom t-shirt, fantastic niche, but highly competitive and could be considered too saturated. And lastly, we have a camping t-shirt. Obviously, camping is a very passionate niche. People love
That design's really cool. The bear's back like transitions into like a skyline with trees and birds. That's super cool.
to hike, they love to go on adventures, and it is the perfect candidate for a print-on-demand product. However, because of how competitive it is, many people would call it saturated. If you're trying to succeed with print-on-demand, you need to have a great niche. Your niche is what gets people interested in your product. Because of competition within print-on-demand, most people are saying that in order to stand out, you should be choosing a low competition niche. I think that's a bad idea because everything I just showed you represents great niches. And if you're choosing a low competition niche, you're likely choosing something that is not as good. There's probably less demand for it. There's probably less money to actually be made, and it's likely low competition for a reason. As I mentioned with my own stores, what I like to do is choose the best niches, but also choose a low competition item so that way I can cut through saturation. If you are
Yeah, with Joe being like, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's like almost exclusively Shopify, right? So it's like, wouldn't you guys agree, like if you're gonna, how do you drive traffic on Shopify? Pretty much everybody says Facebook ads. How do you convert someone on a Facebook ad? Well, if you just show them a t-shirt and they're used to seeing t-shirts when they go to the mall or when they go to Amazon, right? Like t-shirts you're used to seeing. It's hard to be super compelling, like, hey, this is a t-shirt, but look how special this shirt is. It's better than all the other shirts you ever saw, versus like what Joe's doing here and showing like some really different products, which to me makes a lot of sense.
Are selling to the fitness niche, what about selling something like this for someone's home gym? This is a print-on-demand metal sign. I'll show you a supplier in a moment. It is personalized with the person's name. It is being sold at a very high price point, which means a lot more profit. For the beach niche, instead of doing a t-shirt with a graphic on it, you could do some wall art like this, and you could personalize it with someone's last name and the date in which they bought the house or whatever other date is important to them. Again, this product is going to make a lot more in profit, and it's also likely much lower in competition, allowing you to sell to this awesome niche. I also found these baseball mom sneakers on Etsy, selling selling for $70. They've got reviews on the item. The tongue of the shoe is personalized with any number that they want. And again, this is a great niche, but it's a low competition product to help the seller actually make more sales. Lastly, we have this store here that is doing a fantastic job selling these woven blankets. You can see their price points are also quite high. Most of them are over $100 for a retail value. And they're also doing some sort of personalization on some of them. You don't always have to do personalization, but it definitely helps in certain cases. My point in going through these examples is to show you that when you choose a low competition item, you can cut through saturation and sell to the best niches. And
it needs to be stated probably though, and I don't mean he might talk about this, but it's like, I mean, again, it's like, are you on a major market where someone can type in baseball mom and not finish the query by typing a product type? Because if they say baseball mom shirt, well, they only want shirts. If they say baseball mom, they want the niche and they're open to seeing different product types, in which case selling multiple different product types makes a lot of sense. Whereas if you're on Shopify, it's like the same dilemma of like, well, number one, your ads need to be, sent to the right people, right? No one wants baseball mom if they're not a mom that has a kid that plays baseball, right? And then it's like, is the product that you chose compelling enough? Is the design compelling enough? Is the offer compelling enough? Right? Like if we're looking at the full scope of what we're doing when we're selling Shopify POD, it's still print on demand, but also the marketing side, you have to become an expert to, I don't know. I can't speak to it, right? I'm not doing it. Joe is. So actually check out Joe for that. But, there's definitely risk of downside if you are not doing it to a high degree, because you have to spend money for all the ads, right? Don't overlook that part.
I don't say this because I hate t-shirts or I just want to get clicks on my videos. I say this because since 2016, I've been running profitable print-on-demand stores. I've also been invited to speak at a few different print-on-demand conferences where I've talked more about this. And choosing low competition products has been the #1 key to my success. So that's what I talk about here on my...
When you say competition too, I'm just saying, like, does that mean like for organic traffic? Because if you're running ads, it doesn't matter the competition, unless I'm mistaken. Again, not my thing, but right? Like if we're talking about selling on Etsy, selling on Amazon, there is competition. If you're driving traffic to a Shopify store, who are you competing with?
Channel. In a moment, I'll do a full breakdown on profitability and show you the suppliers of some of the products that we just looked at. But I first want to share with you what I actually think about when I choose products to sell to my niches. What you want to do is actually think about your customer. Is there a special way that they can showcase the niche? This could be some sort of an on-the-go type of thing, or it could even be something inside of their home. Doing this allows you to find a low competition item, but also helps you to choose something that someone may be more likely to impulse purchase because you're choosing a product that makes sense for them. For example, something like this here. If someone's interested in fitness and they have a home gym, this product is a logical purchase for them. If you're just showing them a t-shirt or something, they might just look at it and click the like button on social media. They're not shopping. They're not in the mood to buy. Why do they need to buy a shirt at that moment? If you repeat...
Worth mentioning, a gym wall sign implies you have a gym though, right? How many people own gyms? But most people go to the gym. And so a gym t-shirt, you see what I'm saying? Like there's nuance. I'm not trying to pick Joe's video apart. I like Joe. I believe in Shopify print on demand. You know what I mean? We've seen enough people doing it successfully. I'm just of the very firm belief that like you can just go list products on all of the major marketplaces. The workflow to get them on Amazon, Etsy, Walmart, and eBay is the exact same. It's the exact same workflow across the board. So if you make a good enough design and you don't have to choose one product, you can literally list it on all the relevant print on demand products, you're good to go. I mean, I'm living proof that it works, and it's a lot lower barrier of entry or a lot lower learning curve, I would say.
Really are showing them things like this.
Just my opinion.
Ultimately, you're giving them a reason to buy the product because they can hang it in their home gym. Same thing here with something like this. The beach is an awesome niche. People that love nautical stuff or coastal living would definitely be interested in buying something like this. And personally, I have sold to this niche, so I know that this sort of a thing does well. And the same thing with the gym sign that we just looked at. Someone who sees this will have a reason to buy it. They can hang it in their home. Another perfect example right here, if we're thinking about the baseball mom niche, we might want to create something that they can showcase their child with a jersey number on it, or even just the simple fact that they are a baseball mom, which the side of these shoes actually says. If we're thinking about the niche, we might want to create products that they could bring with them to the game. Yes.
It's a really good mock-up, by the way, for those shoes. Just saying, if I was going to sell shoes, that mock-up, top of my list.
A t-shirt does that, but in most cases, this is going to be something they have seen before because it is a high competition product. Showing them the shoes instead is a great way to break through that competition and show them something a little bit more unique. And lastly, we have...
And if I'm on Shopify and I'm selling those shoes, you better believe on the way out the door to checkout, I'm gonna hit them with a quick upsell that says, add to cart, these additional products, and one of them will probably be the baseball mom shirt, right? Like if you're gonna do Shopify, I'm sure Joe's doing this too, right? You got to increase that average order value or the customer value, you know what I mean, when they check out by hitting them with upsells. If you know what they're interested in, you can, like, not you personally manually, but like you can have your Shopify store set up to show them relevant upsells based on the product that they added to cart.
Have the adventure blankets here on this store. This is a store I've broken down in another video. They do a whole bunch of sales selling these personalized print-on-demand blankets. I'm not saying you have to do personalization. You could take a lot of the same design concepts that you typically see on t-shirts like this, but you would just be doing it on a better product, one that has less competition and makes you a lot more in profit. If you're looking for suppliers of these items, T-Launch is the one that carries the print-on-demand metal sign. What's cool about this product is you can design it in any way that you'd like, and they'll make your sign cut exactly like your design is. I do have some tutorials on my channel showing you how to make designs for this product. When it comes to footwear, Printify has several different options. You can see in here everything from high tops and low tops to boots and flip-flops as well. In terms of pricing, Printify has these with a Printify premium account for just $21.92. If you don't have a Printify premium account and you want to get a free month, I have a code. It is Ninja50, NIN.
Worth mentioning, at least the ones that are on his screen right now are shipped from China, so factor that in too.
JA50, you can put that in your payment section and you will get the Printify premium price on all of your orders. If we look back on Etsy, they are selling this product for $70. Personally, I sell on Shopify, but this is a great reference in terms of the profit potential of the item. Printify also...
One thing worth mentioning, actually, ship from China doesn't matter nearly as much if it's Shopify, right? You don't have to worry about getting, I mean, you can't get in too much trouble with Shopify if people think their product is like not coming, but you know what I mean? Theoretically, if it's a customer who understands, oh yeah, it might be like 10 days before I get my product and it gets shipped from China, you don't have to worry about, you know, the way that you would if you're shipping to an Amazon customer or an Etsy customer, etc. from China. You know, it's going to have delays, etc., etc.
It has a lot of different canvas options and posters as well. So if you wanted to bring something like this to life for your niche, they could be a great option for you. The company I mentioned previously, T-Launch, does have that panoramic rectangle canvas like I just showed. Printify also has several different blanket options as well in here. So if you wanted to do something like this for your niche, you could. If you wanted to sell the actual woven blanket in the pictures from that store, T-Launch would be a great option for it. As I mentioned before, choosing a low competition product has been the #1 key to my success. I have been able to choose some of the best niches, and I'm able to make sales because I am choosing a low competition item. If you're someone that's struggling to get any success at all with print on demand, maybe consider adding some more lower
I got to interject. Nobody's successful on Shopify because of their product selection alone, right? It's literally like marketing. You got to get the right product in front of the right person and make a compelling enough offer that they click your ad and then go to, or even if it's not an ad, let's say it's organic social media, like you need to make something that's so compelling that somebody diverts away from what they were doing, takes an action, clicks your link, goes to your store. That's not Amazon. Everybody, you know, Amazon one-click checkout. No, you don't. I mean, Shopify has like the fast checkout, but you get what I'm saying, right? You're not sending them straight to a checkout page. They have to go to the product page, hit add to cart. So it's all these interactions stacking as a part of the checkout flow for Shopify that is not the same as Amazon, as Etsy, etc. I'm not trying to pick anything apart or anything like that, but like, you know, let's be honest about what this is. Like, it's not near, it's more end user interactions to purchase on a Shopify store than it is on Amazon. Let's just say that, right? And again, if you don't show a relevant product to the right person at the right time, right, then it's like they'll just breeze right past your organic social media post or ad. You know what I mean?
competition items to your store. I'm not saying you need to go and delete all of your shirts or delete all of your mugs. I'm just saying that sometimes if you add a low competition item, it will help you to actually stand out. The key is to think about how your product will help members of your niche showcase their membership in the niche. I know that sounds kind of technical, but what I'm trying to say is, are there ways that you can choose products that give people the ability to actually showcase the niche? If you're not really sure what's out there for print-on-demand items, I've done dozens of different product reviews here on my channel. I've recorded a lot of different videos, so definitely make sure to check those out. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I do have the POD for Dummies course. It is completely free. There's a link down in the description. Inside are over 30 videos showing you how to get started and build your store on Shopify and get started with social media. The point of me making this video, as I mentioned, is not to bash shirts. I do not hate shirts. I don't make videos about not selling.
That's why I had to go to bat for shirts. That's how I got my start. I've definitely sold well over $1 million in shirts, but I'm not saying it has to be shirts either. It is a good starting point though, right? Because broad appeal. Let's at least agree, broad appeal.
Selling shirts just to get views. I make videos about choosing low competition items because personally it works very well for me. I've been running this store for just over 100 days. We have 223 orders, almost $30,000 in sales with a 35% or so profit margin. As I mentioned before, I am selling in a very competitive niche. I am choosing products that make sense for the niche, and I am ultimately able to cut through the saturation that exists within those niches. And I wanted to make a video here detailing my thought process when it comes to actually choosing a product. There are lots of different items out there, and not every product is going to be perfect for every niche. Sometimes people people watch my content and they hear me talk about choosing other products, and they start seeing all of these amazing things that print-on-demand suppliers offer, and they start making designs for some of them even if they're not a great pick. For example, if we start scrolling through the T-Launch product catalog, we'll see a lot of amazing things, but not everything should be sold to every niche. Some products might not make sense at all. For example, if I'm looking at these bamboo cutting boards right here and my niche is video games, those are probably not a great option. If my niche
Good point. You heard that, guys? Don't offer every product to every niche. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense.
is something to do with farming or cooking or baking, then maybe those would be a good option for me. They've also got print-on-demand Apple Watch bands. Again, if my niche was baking or farming or something like that, that wouldn't be a good option. But if my niche was something to do with sports or even gaming in some capacity, those could be a cool tech product. They also have print-on-demand headphones in here where you can print on the side of the headphones, which means you could sell to any niche regarding tech or even music and likely have a pretty cool product idea on your hands. And again, all I'm trying to do is get you to think differently about the products that you are choosing. So many people put too much emphasis on only the niche, and they don't realize that your product, in most cases, is what is creating the desire to buy. People, yes, like your niche, and sometimes they'll like your design, but if you're choosing a highly saturated product like a t-shirt or a mug, you might not actually make the sale. That has been true for me with my own print-on-demand stores and with all of the people that I have worked with. And I hope by watching this video, it will help you as well. So thank you.
He made a really good point there. You know what I mean? It's not just the product either, but you know what I mean? It probably is more the product than it is the niche or the design, because you saw the interest from Google Trends right at the beginning. Like, the interest in print on demand is spiking massively. And the result is, like, you're just getting more people putting out really nice, high quality products, high quality designs in high demand niches. It's not rare, you know what I mean, anymore to have an incredible design. Like, people who are new to it are putting out incredible designs with really quality product listings. So I get it. Yeah, you need to be a little bit different, but I thought that was a good video from Joe. The one thing I always leave Shopify print on demand videos wondering is how we're generating traffic and getting the right product in front of the right person. Like, and I get it, like ads, you know what I mean? And Facebook ads are getting a lot better and a lot more accessible, a lot more expensive. It is what it is. I'm not trying to imply that it can't be done. We know it can. We know Joe's doing it successfully, and we know some other friends of the channel that are, but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll try it. Should I try it? Let me know in the comments. But shout out to Joe. Great video, man. Linked in the description. Check out Joe. Check out his channel. It's funny. He's like, yeah, I'm not pandering for views by talking about selling t-shirts. But so he talked about not selling t-shirts. It got like 10x the views that he probably would have gotten if he talked about selling t-shirts. So well done from one talking head to another. And guys, hope you enjoyed this video as well. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon with another new video.